It is late November. I am packing clothes for Ohio's deer opener, gun season, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to answer the question that everybody asks: how do I stay warm on stand? So I plan on talking about everything from base layers to kind of mid-weight stuff, and then outerwear, as well as what I put on my feet to stay warm and how I keep my hands warm. So I've got a number of things. I'm also going to talk about what I don't wear and why. Real quick, to give you an idea what the weather looks like. Monday, a low of 27, a high of 43. Tuesday, 21 is a low, 34 is a high, 21 Wednesday, 39. So those are the temperatures we have in Ohio. This is how I dressed for Ohio. So I'm just going to walk through. I am not affiliated with any of these brands. You'll see that I'm not, there's no brand loyalty here. I've got a mixture of things from different people and things that, different companies, and things that go back 30 years that I bought that I still use to keep me warm. So I'll jump into kind of what I wear. What I start with is a nice warm base layer. So something that is going to fit very tight, like a long underwear. I ditched the traditional long underwear years ago and went to more of the clothes that are designed specifically for cold weather. And I would say, not that long underwear wasn't designed for the cold, but some of the synthetic items. So first off, I'll start off with just my base layer. So a good base layer that's going to fit skin tight. These are Patagonia. I bought them years ago. I still wear them. They work. They keep me warm. I also have some Under Armour. This is Cold Gear. I've had it several years as well. Anytime I hunt, if it's I would say if it's in the 40s or below, I've got on a base layer. So they're light enough that they add some warmth, but they don't make me hot when it's in the 40s, but they're a nice starting layer when it does get down into 30s and I'm going to be sitting and it's going to be cold. So a good base layer is where I start. From there, I start adding on my next layer. And for me, I wear pants like these. These are like a denim pants. These are Carhartts that I pick up at Tractor Supply. I'll add a link at the end of the video for where I pick these up, but they're just a denim pant. They don't really offer anything in terms of warmth, just a durable pair of pants. On top, my next layer after the base layer is something that's a warm fleece type of layer. This is Patagonia. Again, I bought it, actually I didn't buy it with this other Patagonia. This stuff I bought back in the 90s. I was getting ready to do a backcountry trip to Wyoming fly fishing and needed something warm, so I picked up the Patagonia. It's a kind of a mid layer, and it's designed, it doesn't fit tight, but it traps in the heat underneath. So I've got two layers. It's not a bulky layer. It's very comfortable. At the same time, I bought some Patagonia bottoms that do the same thing. So if I want to add a layer on my legs, I'll go with the base layer, and then I'll add on the Patagonia, which is just, again, it's like a fleece layer and fairly thin, so it doesn't add a lot of bulk underneath my jeans. If I am wearing jeans or something that's too tight, you can actually get rid of the jeans if you're wearing coveralls or something. That these two layers will do a good job. When I go snow skiing, I will wear a base layer, I will wear these, and then my snow pants right over it. There's enough layers in there to trap the heat and keep me warm. Additionally, I've got these. So these are cold proof. Again, not brand loyal, but very similar. Just a mid layer designed to trap heat between that base layer and the outer layer. So that's what I start with. So I go from base layer to a mid layer when I need it. The mid layer I usually add, this I wear pretty much all the time. When it's in the 50s and below, I wear something like this. And it keeps me warm. I don't sweat in it. The next step that I go to, and actually for this mid layer, some different examples of what I wear. I've got a Columbia fleece here that I wear. It's a quarter zip or half zip. I've got an Under Armour Cold Gear that I wear. And I've got, this is one from a new brand, Dry Duck, that it's a thinner fleece. I haven't worn it out hunting, but it's a nice soft warm. I wear it around the cabin. Haven't tried it out for hunting, but you can see 3 different brands. I'm not brand loyal. I'm just looking for that second layer to trap in the heat. So the next thing that I discovered, and this is, I swear by it. I've done it for years, and I think it's a great next layer. So if it's going to be cold, if it's in the 30s, low 40s, the next thing I'm going with is a vest. I've got several of them here. I got an orange one. It's a Cabela's brand. This is a Columbia. So full zip. I put it on. It adds another layer that is a nice warm layer. What I like about this is when I add this layer, I can zip it all the way up to my chin, so it really adds some warmth all the way to the top. But what it doesn't add is any bulk in my arms. So when I start putting on a coat, I don't start feeling like the Michelin Man and I can't move my arms. So it adds warmth at the core, keeps my body warm without adding any layers to my arms and making me feel like I can't move. Anytime you're sitting on stand, you know, I never sit there and think, geez, my arms are really cold. Might have cold hands, might have cold core, but my arms are not cold. So I like having them not bulked up with extra clothes. So I add this as my next layer. Again, I've got a Cabela's here. I've got a Columbia down here. It's a layer that I add on top of that mid layer. What I don't ever add, and what I see people add all the time and swear by, is a hoodie. This does you very little good. It might seem warm. Most of these are 100% cotton. They may have some polyester to them. They are not an insulating layer. They're another layer. They're cotton. They're going to make you sweat. They're not breathable. And once you're sweaty and wet, you're going to get cold. So ditch the hoodie. I see so many people say, you know, I always wear a hoodie. I don't want to knock. If you're wearing something and it keeps you warm, keep doing it. I'm not here to tell you how to dress if you're already staying warm. I'm giving people tips that aren't staying warm. My opinion, ditch the hoodie. It's not doing you any good. So this is my base layer. So you can assume I've got base layer, I got pants, I may have a mid layer, and I've got a fleece, a base, a fleece, and a vest. This is the core for what I wear. From there, I go to, if it's going to be cold, again, if I'm sitting and it's in the 30s, I always wear a set of bibs. So I bought these last year. These are Nomad brand. First time I've worn anything Nomad. And I'm going to do I bought these last year. I've worn them enough that I feel comfortable doing a review on these. So that's my next layer. This is where I'm really adding some warmth. I like these better than insulated pants because it keeps all of these top layers tucked in. There is no way that wind is getting inside, up inside my vest and my fleece. So this is a layer that I really like, especially if I'm sitting. If it's a little chilly, what I've convinced myself of early is, or a long time ago, put on my coveralls. It might seem like it's a pain in the butt to take off boots and do whatever I have to get them put on, but I put these coveralls on and I stay, you know, nice and warm. So that locks everything in inside. It's an extra layer again on the core. I really like adding on coveralls. I've worn coveralls for years. The Nomads are new. Watch for a video. I am going to do a review of the Nomad. Next up at the top, I've got a Nomad coat. I've got that. Zip it up. That combination keeps me pretty warm. So that's what I'm wearing on my body. Now let me start talking, how do I keep my hands, head, and feet warm? Those seem to be the those are the extremities. That's where people struggle. So let's start off with feet. You know, I seldom get cold feet. I oftentimes wear a pair of cotton Hanes socks. Goes against what I just told you in regards to not wearing cotton because it makes you sweat, it doesn't breathe, and it gets wet. But I have luck with it. Again, I'm not telling people to change what works for them, so I wear these quite a bit. When I do think I need extra, I've got some ski socks. I don't even know the brand. If you go into a sporting goods store or a ski shop and look for something for skiing, this is what I bought. I'm pretty sure they're not wool. Honestly, I don't know what the mix is, but these by themselves. I don't like to layer socks. To me, layering socks is, unless you're putting a real thin wicking layer that's designed to be layered, putting multiple levels of cotton socks or multiple levels of socks on, it makes your boots tight. It doesn't give you room to trap air in your boots, and to me, it just lends to cold feet. So these are a ski sock, an outdoor sock, and when I feel like I need an extra layer, that's what I add on. In terms of boots, for years now, I've hunted with rubber boots. You can put hand warmers down in them. I don't. What I've found is my feet stay plenty warm in a pair of good boots. These have 1,200 grams of Thinsulate Ultra in them. I bought these at Cabela's. They're probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. They just consistently keep my feet warm. So they keep my feet dry. I don't sweat in them. The 1,200 grams of Thinsulate is plenty. I've actually debated. I've got a few areas where I see the seams look like they could be coming loose. So I've started thinking I'll probably have to invest in new ones soon. But for now, I wear these. They're not a great boot if you're going to be walking all day, but if you're sitting on stand, I wear these all the time on stand. Really like them. My feet stay warm. There's actually enough room in them. When I bought them, I don't think I bought an extra size. I don't really, when people ask, I wear a large, should I get extra large so I got room for clothes under it? I try to minimize the layers. Wear the right layers and you're not needing a lot of extra room in your clothes. Same thing with the boots. I don't see a size on these, but I'm gonna say I bought the size I always wear and they work for me. So I wear those boots. If I'm bow hunting, if I'm not wearing bibs, I tuck my pants down inside the boots so I don't have clothes that are rubbing on stuff going in and leaving my scent everywhere. If I'm going in, I'm gonna sit on a stand, I will put the boots on. I will unzip the pant legs on these, put them over the boots. Any heat that's in the boot is coming right up my legs. Really like the rubber boots. That's, you'd be hard pressed to convince me to wear some other type of boot. Those have worked for me for years. Other thing that these do, and this is something to be aware of, is where are you sitting and standing? If you are on a metal tree stand, anything you can do to put some space between your feet in the cold metal is good. So these thick boots, they do the job. If you've got a metal grate that wind is blowing up through, I've actually picked up rubber mats from Home Depot that are just like they're just a rubber like floor mat, doormat, and I get one big enough to cover the entire floor that stops the wind from coming up. Makes a huge difference in keeping my feet warm and keeping me warm altogether. So let's move on to how do I keep my head warm? So I like to wear a ball cap whenever I can. If it's not really cold, I'm wearing a ball cap because I like to be able to hear what's going on around me. As it gets colder, or if I'm bow hunting and I need to keep my head covered, I go from the ball cap, I add on a hood. So this hood is, it's an insulated hood. I think it's Cold Gear from Under Armour. I'm almost certain it is. I don't see a brand anywhere on it, but I think that's what it is. But you can pick up various brands. It fits nice and tight. This is one that's designed to be worn different ways. I can wear it as a mask. I can pull it down so it's not on my head. Different ways to wear it, but this is something, yeah, it is Under Armour. There we go. This is something I wear as it starts to get colder or when I'm bow hunting and I need to cover my head real well. So I will add a hood. I'll put the hood on. I'll wear my hat over it. I also have a beanie, so at the point at which I feel myself starting to get cold, I will throw a beanie on. This one's reversible, so it helps keep my head warm. Those are the things I throw on my head. Oftentimes, if it's really cold, I like to have that hoodie or that mask that I can pull on and really keep the wind off of me. Other item I keep in my pocket or in my bag is a gaiter, a neck gaiter. I don't wear this a lot, but at the point at which I get cold, the gaiter can be a nice addition around my neck to keep wind from blowing down my coat. So I keep it in my bag, doesn't take up much space. It's just a little something that I use here and there, and tends to work for me. So almost done. I'm going to hit probably the big one for everybody, which is, okay, I got my phone ringing here. Let's turn the phone off. Stop. Okay, how do you keep your hands warm? Everybody talks about keeping their hands warm. One of the things that is not in my pockets is gloves. I don't ever wear gloves. No matter how cold it is, I don't wear gloves. I like to have my hands free. I like to be able to, whether I'm bow hunting or gun hunting, feel the trigger, feel my release. I don't want any extra bulk on my hands, so I never ever wear gloves. Instead, and this is something I've done for years, I am sold on a hand muff. Put it on around my waist. I can sit there in the tree like this with my gun. I've got a shoulder strap on it. I'll put the shoulder strap over my arm, tuck my hands in here. The gun sits right under my arm, right across here. I can sit there and it holds everything right in place. So the hand muff is great. I throw a couple hand warmers inside of it. You know, these things, you know, it's $1 for 2 of them, I think. So every time I hunt, I put 2 or 4, depends how cold it is. These things block the air pretty well, so they keep the air out, give my hands. I can sit in there with those hand warmers and really keep my hands warm. This particular hand muff has a couple pockets. I will keep things I need access to, whether it's my phone, extra ammunition, whatever things I need. I've got them right there at my waist. But man, this is something, when it gets cold, I've got a hand muff on every single time. And you know, if I ever carry gloves, it's usually in warmer weather, and it's when I'm bow hunting, just to have some camouflage. But I don't wear it. I've also got pockets here in my coat. If it's not as cold, I can put my pockets in my hands in my pockets. But the hand muff is the key for me, and I've got one for me. I've got them for my son. I'm sold on a hand muff. One last item to think about that will keep you cold. This last week I hunted in West Virginia, and I typically don't do this, but I'm usually hunting from a tree stand. I decided I was going to find a spot and sit on the ground. I did notice, you know, when you're sitting on the ground, if you're directly on the ground, you're going to feel the cold of the ground, you're going to feel the wet of the ground. Find something to sit on that's going to give you a little bit of space between your clothes and the ground, and you're not getting wet and damp. I use this. I did not use it this last week, but this is Hunt Comfort's Outpost stand seat. I use this on my Lone Wolf tree stands. I use it on pretty much any stand that I take out that has a metal seat. Gives me something to sit on that keeps me off of that cold metal. So you can also take it out, throw it on the ground, and it'll keep you warm. What I don't do, I've got a couple small turkey seats that that you could take out with you. If you put those down when you've got air flowing underneath you, you're going to get a little bit of a chill from that. When you're sitting directly on the ground, directly on something that doesn't let any air get to you, it's going to keep you warmer. So that's something that I carry all the time. So that's the system that I use. As I mentioned, this is not stuff that I'm not brand loyal. The Nomad stuff, this is year 2 for me wearing it. Watch for a video. I am going to put together a quick video on this to talk about, you know, what I think of the Nomad gear. But that's what I have. Take a look at the end if there's anything you saw that you're interested in. Look for links. I'm going to try to add links for some of the things. I'll definitely put one out for the seat. I'll see if I can find one for the hand muff. This is one that's worked well for me from Hunter Safety System. Yeah, I'll add a few links for you. That's about it. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of other good content, and I wish you luck with your hunting season. So dress warm, stay warm, and hope you get that buck that gets you excited. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.